What's good, y'all? It's Glumboy, and today I'm going to tell you how to make an OG Plugg type beat. Of course, the first thing I'm going to do is open up Purity. All these old legendary Plugg beats, they use Purity, everything, every single sound. So for pretty much every single beat, I always start with the chords, and I use Electric Piano 1 and Purity and GM Normal. And these are what the chords sound like. So really simple for the chords, I just use minor ninths and then pitch them down here. And then I added a little off note here to create some dissonance, and then a diminished chord at the end. And if you want to quickly make some chords like this, you can actually go up to this little menu right here, click it, and then you have a bunch of different chords. You can get a minor ninth, which is what I used, or you can get a major seventh, or a bunch of different advanced chords. So for the second sound, I use one of the most classic Plugg sounds, and it's the bell with harmonics. So I actually turned off that harmonics there just so I don't have the pluck, and I just have the ARP sound, and this is how that sounds with the chords. So to add more movement, I decided to add this music box bell and this vibra handbell. And this is how that sounds with the rest of the melody. So with these type of older Plugg beats, you want to keep them really simple, but just make sure that you're adding the counter melodies in a space that gives some pocket to the rest of the melody. So after doing all those melodies, I still felt like it was missing something, so I actually ended up adding this wood block from the bell and perk section just to give it some bounce. And this is a very popular pattern that's used in a bunch of older Plugg beats. Here's how it sounds with everything. So as you can hear, after adding that woodblock sound, it really added a bunch of bounce to the whole melody. So the last step I need to do is add this oboe from woodwind just to top it off. And something I really like doing is at the end of all my melodies, whether it be a counter melody or the chords or the drums, but I always try to add a little bit of variation. So here at the second half, I actually switched how the notes come in. Alright, now that we got the melody out of the way, let's move on to the drums. So the first thing I do is I always start off with a hi-hat and a clap. And for your hi-hats, you really just want them to be bouncy and simple, and you don't want to do too much. So moving on, I decided to add a snare. And when Mexico Joe does his snares, he really just keeps them very simple. He usually does something like this with these two secondary snares, and then one on the end. So moving on, I added this perk and a little chant. So now for arguably the most important part of the drums, we have to add the 808. And I chose this old Mexico Joe sounding type of 808. And I actually put this old Plugg preset on it to make it sound kind of underwater. And for the 808, I just wanted to be as simple as possible and as bouncy as possible. Even though this style of Plugg is somewhat extinct these days, I still love making it, and I still think it hits harder than some of the newer Plugg. I'm actually going to be giving away this entire FLP for free. All you got to do is just click the link in my bio, and there will be a Dropbox link with the zip. And if you don't have FL Studio, I'll put an MP3 to the melody and the beat in the description. I'm going to be doing these tutorials as often as I can now, probably like once a week. But if you guys have any ideas for upcoming videos, just leave a comment in the description and I'll check it out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Hey, Glumboy.